Yeah, you boys are here, and tonight I have the extreme pleasure, guys, to welcome you back. And to do so, we're gonna deal with the part 2 of the video dedicated to Roland Cloud, and more specifically on this one, to Zenology. So I will cover everything you need to know about Zenology, and we'll also do a deep dive to make you understand the differences between the Zenology and the Legends. So let's go straight to the heart of the beast. And to do so, let me grab my coffee. I'll let you grab yours, and we're gonna take our time as usual. Let's do it, guys. So as you see here, by default, when you're gonna take Zenology, you will have this small interface, which is, in my humble opinion, excellent. It's not very intrusive, and don't let it fool you. You have here the controls that will make you have the most impact on the sound usually. And so, yeah, I gravitate around this interface mainly when I load some presets and I want to have some regular controls of it. The second thing I love is that I'm using right now a Xtra Pro, and you see there's 5 here knobs, and this is exactly the number of knobs I have for my control settings in my Xtra Pro. So yeah, a great coincidence here. So when you load Zenology here, to load a patch, you simply click on a patch here. Now this will give me the opportunity to tell you the differences between Zenology and Zenology Pro, etc. When you create an account to Roland Cloud, and you get the free Zenology. You will have here the preset A factory preset. I'm going to click on it. It's totally free, and the quality is exactly the same. This is basically some patches. It's like a best of and all that. And you will have quite a lot of presets. 182 here. And you also gonna have some drum kits and all that. And this is exactly how my first contact was with Zenology. I downloaded the free version, I listened to the sound, and I said, okay, this is exactly what I get from the old days of a Roland Phantom and all that. I really loved it. So for example, here I'm gonna load the first patch you're gonna get. I'm gonna increase my feather here. Listen to that. It's lush. You see some crackles, guys. I really need to do a clean install. I messed up my system lately. So don't expect me to play some crazy chords with a lot of voices. I'm gonna stick with simple things, but look at that, listen to that. This is the first patch, basically, you're gonna hear. So here you're gonna get like a best of, and you will also get some great drums. Yeah, you recognize the TR-727 here. This is some samples. This is not like a modelization, right? But it's really great. I will not use it basically for a primary rhythm. But basically for a secondary rhythm, it's all good, right? Anyway, I go back here. So when you get the free version of Zenology, you will get here the A factory preset. When you will go to the Pro version, you will get everything you get here. And there's a lot of things going on here. So the first thing you're gonna hear is the AX collection. All right, let me go here, for example, listen. And I want to tell you that this is enough for me. Listen. You see how fast you can take control over the preset. Man, I forget. I forgot I'm doing a video right now. You know it's gonna be fucked up with me, guys. Let me grab my coffee. Hey. I love this thing, guys. I can't help. So yeah, let me grab another one. A warm lead. It's the same. I'm scrolling right now with my mouse wheel. This is just a simple detail, but I love it. You want random? Look at that. I have a Logitech, so look at that. Here we go. Yeah. That's some smooth shit, guys. More release. Oh boy. Okay, I go back here. So you have the AX collection. So this is basically everything you're gonna have in the AX. I will post during the edit. What is it? You have the Synth Legend. Look at that, look at that. For the AX, you have 451 presets, and there's a lot, guys. Super smooth, you have everything from and I'm pretty sure that you already understand what I love Zenology and specifically Roland stuff is that this sounds smooth, but more important for me is that very easy to introduce in a production or in a mix. They always sound musical, and the presets are made by the real professional. And I don't want to be like rude with other brands and all that. There's a lot of great brands, but basically the preset you hear here are made old school preset, right? Most of the time, and they were made by people with real musical background. I mean, no crazy resonances depending on the keys you're gonna play. Always musical and all that. So yeah, for a producer like me, it's exactly the type of stuff I'm gonna sound design most of the time, unless I want something strange or different or whatever. Let me just play you another one, maybe. I just check my favorites here. Softpad 2. This is just like a no gimmick. Okay, then you're gonna have here the Synth Legend. Okay, here basically there's some presets and they use some patches and some type of sound taken from all their line. Okay, for all the legends basically. So you got some Juno keys, poly keys, for example. I think it's really great because even if you don't go for the expansions, you get a vibe here. Juno. Juno 60. Juno 60, you see that. Even the TB, if you want some TB. I'm checking here the velocity. Solid patches, guys, solid. The SH101. I mean, you get it. Basic synths here, I think it's more like the simple patches and the simple waveforms. I think those basic synths are really great for layering with other stuff, I think. And this leads me to something I would love to have seen in Zenology that you have on the Jupiter XM, for example, the Jupiter X line, is the ability to have a multi-timbre and to stack patches. Okay, here basically you load a patch, that's it. Of course you can do it in your DAW, but I would love to have like a multi, like we have on Arturia Analog Lab, for example, ability to load two synths, Jupiter 8 pad. So it's really clean. I really love those things, and these give me the occasion, for example, to show you the MFX. So basically here, unless you go full editing here, when you click on edit, by default, when you have this view, you can click on keyboard to have a keyboard. You can click on the MFX, which is the multi-FX. And here you have basically the Roland sound here, which is, in my opinion, really impacted by the quality of the effects. And guys, they're just giving you here all the Roland effects. I mean, if you own Phantom, SP404, whatever, you know that those effects are really crazy, guys. So for example here, if I want the Juno 106 chorus, there you have it. Chorus 2. Okay. Jupiter X here. You even have this noise, listen. So the noise is following the modulation speed, look at that. You can take it off, of course. Okay. If you want, for example, the Dimension D. If you want... I mean, guys, I ain't gonna expand on this one. Maybe if you make a patch together, I will show you my favorite effects here. But basically, I love these pages, compact with the effects here. Yeah, that's crazy. And now it's no more pad. You can put a delay here, for example. Give me a typical. Yeah, okay. If I want, okay, I forgot the matrix here. I don't know this guy. Yeah. Okay, let's stop this. Okay. XV. And this is crazy, guys. Yes, if you know Roland, you or I'm pretty sure that you know at least one rack. And this is the XV 5080. And basically you have all the sounds here. And this is something that you really have to understand. And I'm going to point it out because I didn't know that. Okay. When I jumped on the wagon, basically I had on my mind to buy the XV 5080. Let me double check. Let me show you this. So I was about to say, okay, I'm gonna buy this bad boy here, and I'm gonna have fun with this thing. And then I saw on the Zenology, what? Let me go here by category. For example, electric pianos, one of my favorite here, and we're starting to go on the differences between the Zenology and the Legends. If I go Water AP, Psycho AP, one of my favorite patch I used to use back in the days. Okay, if I go here on Zenology, XV, and I go, you have here the filter. I forgot to show you that. So this is a good equation here. Keyboard, electric piano here, Bing, and it was the Psycho AP here. So now you're hearing the Zenology one. XV. So what you're hearing right now, if I do this and this, now, exactly the same sound. Okay, if somebody tells you that it's different, this is exactly the same sound. The differences will reside in the FX section. Basically, when you go here for the XV, you will have the MFX, which is the multi-FX you see on Zenology. Let me pin this bad boy here and Zeno. Okay, so for example here, the MFX for the Psycho EP is Auto Wow, and you see it, MFX type 8 Auto Wow. Okay, so basically Zenology here propose you exactly the same preset as the XV, And this is logical when you're going to deal with the architecture of Zenology, the PCM one. But you don't have like 3 slots like that. Okay? So this is one main difference. I don't know if it's for either CPU hit or just because it was a choice to make stuff simple and to let the hardware handle it. Is it a problem or not? Basically, for me, not at all. I want the core sound. As for the reverb and chorus, usually I really calm it. I used to calm it a lot on the real hardware and to put my own reverb and chorus and all that. The MFX is another story because for me, most of the time when they use the MFX, it's really part of the sound. So for example, if I get here the Zenology and I grab one of my favorite reverb, which is this bad boy here, the UAD Capital Chamber. I even made a preset that I call ZenoFriend, which is basically Zenology Friend. Now, okay, I'll make you hear here XV. So I think you hear the difference mainly because of the chorus. Basically, the chorus makes stuff push back in the background. Okay, I understand. It's in serial, and basically you need to have this enabled to have the reverb. Okay, I will maybe do a video about that here on the edition page. But when you go here, you have basically when you go to the routine, you will understand that. But for now, here's the difference. It's less two-dimensional for me when I use my own reverb. It's more in depth, back and forth, and not on the plane, right, left, like that. You feel it? I'm not saying one is better than another. I'm just saying how I'm going to use it on a mix. So basically, one of the first difference here on the presets is that, yeah, between the Zenology and specifically the XV, you're going to have exactly the same presets here as the XV, but without the chorus and the reverb. Sometimes when you don't have the MFX here, you're going to get the chorus or the reverb. It depends on what they give the priority, basically. So, yeah, beware of the redundancy, okay? But if you want something very fast and to have all the Roland sound, and you don't want to go with a Zenology, guys, this thing is a classic, and I really encourage you guys to dig in on the presets. You're gonna recognize some big classics in the hip hop, R&B. They were used like crazy. Okay, the first page here you have you cut off resonance attack. So same thing as here. The first control that are very impacting. You can even activate one sound. One they call the partials. Okay, let me go back on Zeno. You have essentials here. Essentials here. Basically, for me, it's like having a general MIDI high quality bank. And look at the number of sound. All right, guys, look at it. Okay, 838. sound here. For the XV here, you have basically the whole bank. I think 1000 or something like that. Yeah, 896 here. So yeah, the essentials, you will have everything you need: pianos, brass, voices, anything. For example, let's check some voices. Choir voices. Yeah. Don't tell me that those. Yeah, I had the modulation on my keyboard, right? Yeah, I was like, damn, I hear some reverb on it. Yeah, I forgot I had a capital. I love those voices, guys. Oh boy, let me drink some coffee, guys. Oh boy. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna edit it or not. Guys. Okay. Yeah, essentials, you have everything. Bread and butter, guys. You need, let me see something. Wind, FX. Okay, FX, give me some hits, for example, here. Some classic you're gonna hear. Oh boy. You remember the sound of Slick Rick? For all the hip hop heads, I just discovered it. Slick Rick featuring Outcast. This is the sound they used. Some classic Detroit shit. But you get the things, guys. Okay, you know why I love this bad boy is that you have everything, some classic sounds, and they really sounds great, guys. They really sounds great. So this is what you're gonna have when you're gonna get Zenology. Okay, Zenology Pro to be exact. Then you're gonna have what they call here the EXZ. Let me launch here the Roland Cloud Manager for you to understand what it is. Okay, if I go, remember, software, I'm gonna filter here. Go on Zenology, you're gonna see here all the presets and all that, expansions, and you're gonna see those, the EXZ expansions. This is exactly the equivalent, and I'm gonna show it to you, to the basically if you go on legendary here, you're gonna have all the legendaries and you're gonna have the rack here. And if you go here on the SRX, to be exact, you're gonna have what they used to be some cards that you bought to expand the sonic palette of your Phantom and all that. I used to have the SRX world, which is here in my browser. So I go back here and I see here the SRX world. Oh boy. Okay, let me take off this. Let me put so this is the same concept here. Sorry for my voice. I was I got some modulations on my voice right now. SRX here. So you have a lot of patches here, and basically what you're gonna have here, for example, if you choose Zenology and you choose the world instruments, you're gonna have this here, basically. Hey. So let me check the desert flu. Desert flu. Let me see my keyboard. Desert flute. Here it is. Versus. Same MFX chorus reverb. So basically here I can do that. And I can even put some chorus here, modulation chorus. I'm gonna put like a versus. So we get modulation wheel. I think you understand, my friend. Okay, so here you can buy basically the SRX, and the name they get in Zenology are the EXZ. Okay, when you buy one of those extensions, you see the one I get here, it's not very expensive. When you get Zenology, it's pretty expensive when you buy Zenology for the first time. I think it's $249. I don't think it's expensive for what you get. I think you will agree with that, especially if you know the prices of Phantom or something like that. But the good thing is that when you get, for example, here the EXZ, if I grab this, I think it's $69 for this thing in standalone, and when you grab an extension here, it's gonna be like $19, I think. And the good thing, and this is why I got those specifically. For example, the vintage keys here, or the vintage synths, basically you're gonna have here the presets. But if I decide here to edit this bad boy and to get here the sound sources, I'm gonna explain to you the interface here. Basically, you see Wave Bank. If I click on this, you're gonna see I have it's coming with basically Zenology Pro, which is instrument here A, B, and C. And there's a lot of stuff, guys. Look at it. A lot of sound sources, and this is why I get into the ecosystem. So there's a lot of sources, but then when you get the vintage synths here, you get all the sound sources, and look at those names, okay? Juno, Oberheims, and all that. You get some FM stuff. You got some Moog stuff, everything, basically. You have even the D50 here. Heaven. You got a lot of sound sources, basically, right? So, yeah, Those things are really great to expand your sonic palette when it comes to preset and your sonic possibilities when it comes to sound design. Okay? Then here you're gonna have every expansions you're gonna have here. This is the same. They call it model here, but basically here you can filter by expansions. And if you buy some presets, for example here the Juno 106 pads and stabs, it's gonna be here also. I'm not really a fan because it's gonna be really messy very fast. And here, when you see here, this is the user base here. So for example here, I get the Jupiter 8 and I'm gonna this is loading the expansion. So take it like a script for Contact, okay? And basically you have the whole architecture simplified, waveforms and GUI to match a Jupiter 8. Still the MFX here and the architecture here. What I love about this thing is that, for example, if you don't know Jupiter 8 or you're not very familiar with it, you have this small diagram here, which is basically showing you the routine and the architecture of the synths. And it's really great, for example, to understand, okay, VCF, okay, it's going to be envelope 2, VCA also. Okay, envelope 1 can control also the VCF, but not the VCA. So basically VCA and filter here, which you see here, envelope 1 or 2, you have the choice here. But for the VCO, you'd have no choice. And when I see here, I understand that it is by default envelope 2. I mean, you get this. Okay, so it's very great for you to understand the architecture and to understand the thing. Let me lower the octave. This is a small sequence we have here. That's cool. Yeah, not a really fan about the presets we have on the expansions here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna feel the difference between the people that used to make the presets back in the days and those ones. But I didn't buy those for the presets, but really for me to have a really straightforward interface. And the Jupiter 8 sound and Juno, etc. So yeah, I think you get it here. So for example, here I have my user base here. This is all my presets. The preset management is really old school. I don't really like it. I'm telling you the truth. For one reason mainly. You see here, I have a lot of presets here. And you see category not assigned. Basically, as soon as you use here an expansion, this is a preset I made. If I want to write it, I'm gonna first choose a slot here, for example here, and I'm gonna write it. But I have no options to enter the category here. Okay. If you want to know all the options for you to manage, you click here on the info and you will have the shortcuts here. To create a new bank, to import a bank, to delete a tone, create a new tone, drum kit and all that, undo, redo, replace. So this is another strange thing also, is that if you want to manage the presets, you can't do it here. Okay? you have to click right, which is strange, and then here you can manage the things. If I want to create a new bank here and copy and paste stuff, I have to pass by this right button here. You can assign the category if you're using Zenology, the core, basically. If I go here, if I want to save this preset, I can save it. And first, when I go to Pro Edit here, I can select the category here, for example, electronic pianos or synths, poly keys, and all that. Okay, and then it will be categorized. You see here, poly keys. Let me change it for you to see it. Hits, and it's going to be on hit. I'm going to click right and bang. Okay, so you can do it in Zenology, but you can't for now do it on the expansions. So Roland, if you're watching this video, which I doubt, but maybe we don't know, please do this for us, my friend, because it's very important. Okay, so the workaround I found is that, for example, I go here and I say, okay, I'm going to create a synth pad. I load a synth pad patch here and I start from that. But sometimes you don't know exactly what you're going to create, right? But I can start for these things. And then, for example, I will tweak it. I want something really personal. I'm going to tweak it more. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so here the preset browser, not very good, my friend. Okay, so now the big question. You saw Zenology. You understand that Zenology is a great platform, and it's basically having a Roland Phantom and some expansions that the Roland Phantom or Jupiter X can load, etc. And what is the difference between the legends? Okay, I have to first address something. Is that when you load here Zenology Shiny Pad here, basically you see here, wow, but listen to that. Okay, you have my reverb, but even. Basically, I have to do it. I ain't gonna do my preset or deep dive in Zenology for now. I just want to show you something very quick. Here, you have 4 parts. Okay, you can create a patch, and the patch is basically composed with 4 parts, which is called partials. If you were familiar with Roland, it's really talking to you. And each partials can be composed by 1 or 2 sound sources, basically, right? But you can also have virtual analog here, which is basically waveforms. Okay, and you see that you have Juno here and the classic stuff and all that. You have PCM sync here, okay? You have the super saw and noise. So basically, Zenology already have this advantage over the legend, is that it's not one or another. It can do anything. So basically, when I go to the legends here, you will have basically 2 families. You have the real analog synths, Juno 60, Juno 106, Jupiter 8, Jupiter 4, the GX3P, etc. And then you will have everything PCM based. PCM, this is the technology, basically. It's the digital synths from Roland, and it's based on the samples. Very short impulses of the samples, basically, and they created a crazy concept. We're talking here the D50, we're talking here the JV, which is basically included on the XV. We're talking here the XV, of course, the expansions here, the SAEX, the sound canva, which was a great thing. Okay, so for example here, if I go on the D50 here, which is a beast. Okay, let me. Oh boy. Basically, you have here the partial selection. There are 4 partials here, if I answer. Really great for you to understand how you make a sound. So basically, you have your transients, the impact, okay. If I go here on the edit page, which is blah 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 blah. Here, for example, give me the first one here. Basically, if I click here, I have all my list of samples here. All right. Okay, so you can choose samples or you can choose waveforms, basically. Yeah, but very basic waveforms. It's not like the Zenology. But yeah, this is the whole concept, basically. Okay, so for the D50, XV and all that, it's really sample made, and it's the ancestor of what you have right now, Omnisphere and all that. And if I load, for example, here, a Juno 106, you have basically a Juno 106. Yeah. You see the difference here. If you're not familiar with that, it's because in the options you can load the Juno 106 regular layout, or because it's capable to be integrated as a plug out in System 8, you can have the System 8 layout, which I love. I usually use my synths like that. I'm not like nostalgic to the point that I want to see like exactly the same thing, even the scratches and all that. And this is exactly why I went for the Zenology and expansions. Let me load a Juno 106 patch here. You see the difference? Look at that. This and this. And you understand, and you know, you boyzo is very no joke when it comes to workflow and the cancellation of any type of constraint when it comes to creativity and work achievement, right? So what's the difference, for example, in this case with the Juno 106 Legend and the original one? The first thing we're gonna notice here is the envelope. You only have one envelope here. You have one envelope here for the VCF, one for the VCA. It is a deal breaker or not? I don't think so, personally. But the Juno sounds, I don't want like complexity. I really want this lush, great sound that Juno is really known for. Okay. You have your patches here. Give me a pad. Warm a pad. I'm sorry for the crackles, guys. As usual, as soon as I have a lot of interfaces on the screen. Okay, let me close because this bad boy sometime try to load. Anyway. I'm disgracing. Okay, so the first differences here is the envelope. The second one, which is for me a more impacting one, is here. Velocity sensitivity, for those that don't know, is that your VCF here can react to the envelope, to the keyboard, basically which key will open or not the frequency, and also react to the velocity, which is not present here. This doesn't mean that Zenology don't react to velocity. Basically, if I load any patches here on the Zen core, okay, if I go here on the filter, you see here the envelope, and basically you have here cutoff velocity sensitivity. Let me go back here. So if I play low, if I play high, it's open, high velocity. Okay, so basically you have these options. For what reason they didn't incorporate it to the expansion is beyond my comprehension. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I will not say I don't care, because I just take it as a limitation, and this is why I know which expansion I'm going to use or not. Strangely, if I go back here on the JX8P, which is basically my default expansion for making serious sound design, I have two envelope here, and you see here what they call dynamic, and basically this is some presets for the dynamic, the velocity sensitivity. So for example here, I'm going to close it. If I click on dynamic here, it's going to react and open the filter very quickly. Look at that. Slow velocity, high velocity. Okay. So you have this option. You have this option. Let me do that like that. On the JX8P, but on the others, nope. And me don't know why. Okay, so first difference here for the sum up. Juno 106, first difference. Two envelope, one envelope. Second difference, velocity sensitivity here. Also for the VCA. Here for the VCA, I think you get it here. Nope. One bigger difference for me is the effects section. As usual with the Legends, you have 3 slots here: delay, reverb, and what they call the effects here. And it varies depending on the synths. But basically here on the delay, you will always have usually the chorus 1 and 2 taken from the Juno, a delay plus chorus, a regular delay here on the first slot, a pan delay, and here on the reverb, you're going to have all the algorithm. Okay, so ambience, room, hole 1, hole 2, and plate. Okay, always the same. Here it's going to vary. Here, in this case, you got to have overdrive, distortion, Juno chorus 1, Juno chorus 2, and the crusher, bit crusher here, phaser here. Sometimes it's other stuff. So here you have a chorus, here you have the Juno chorus, and basically, if I go here, if I load the Juno chorus here, you're gonna hear the noise here. Yeah, it's not activated. I'm crazy. Okay, so to lower the noise, you lower the tone here, which is the only knob over here. Okay. If I put here chorus 2, you lower the time and you get close here. versus you have more modulation, right? It's not exactly the same, but the same ballpark. Yeah, modulation is slower here, and you feel the bass, basically. Okay, but basically here you see the differences. Okay, so I think you get it for the Juno 106, but I really love this layout, guys. I'm really able to make something very quick with definitely this Juno sound, right? Which is, for me, resides here, here, and here. Juno chorus, the famous filter, Roland filter, and the mix between those bad boys, and specifically here, the pulse shape here. Okay, now we're gonna see the Jupiter 8 differences. Let me open here. Open a Jupiter 8, which is here. Same thing. I'm using here the System 8 layout for you to really have a fast understanding of the architecture. If you don't have this understanding, you can see that. But basically, VC1, VCO2, the same here. Difference is that here for the VC1, VCO2, you will have basically 5 waveform. Here you only have 4 because the noise is only present on the VCO2, which is for me not a big problem. Usually you don't put like 2 noises generation. Okay, another difference here is the range here. Okay, so you only have 4 here step of ranges. Here you have more. This is not a big deal for me. Okay, I can lower my keyboard if I need some super lows, and so I ain't stressing about that. A lot of people doing some a lot of issues about that. I usually don't have big differences. The only differences is going to be like, for example, if you go like this and like this, you cannot do it here. Okay, but for the second one, you can lower here normal or lower frequencies and you get super low. So basically, yeah, I think you can do it. I'm not very sure, but it's not an issue at all for me. Okay, same thing here. You don't have here the velocity sensitivity, I think. Let me just... Yes, you don't have it. And you have 3 effect slots here, which you don't have here. Okay, so this is the only differences, but other than that, you have a Jupiter 8. I'm really sorry for guys for the crackers. Okay, don't forget here, it is very important. Here you're gonna select if you want it to be poly, solo, unison. Let me load the patch. Unison. Pitch drift here, and you also have conditions which simulate basically the inconsistencies of the analog things. Okay, you have here the equivalent, what they call the conditions. This is exactly the same thing. Okay, so you have this is what they call here the ACB, analog circuit behavior. Basically, you have the same thing here on the Zenology. It's not like exactly maybe as deep, but I doubt personally. I really think we have exactly like the same behavior, but I think the differences might be on the oversampling and all that, and the differences I showed you also. So some people will try to compare it. The difference alone on the velocity sensitivity can make a big difference, guys, on patches. Okay. I don't see another thing here. Yeah, big difference. I forget. Is that on the Legends you always have by default here one arpeggiator, which is great. Okay, we don't have it here. I don't know why, but which is great. Okay, I don't care because I have a Keystep Pro from Xtra, or you can use your onboard arpeggiator in your sequencer, or if you have another controller. But it's great to have here. Okay, they had to do it because it's integrated on System 8, which has basically arpeggiator, right? Of course, here you can choose the number of voices, and you can also resize. Basically, here you just do that and you resize. Okay, I usually stick with 200 because it gets blurry. I don't know if it's my system or some. Here, same. Here you go on menu, zoom, you just scroll. 200. I usually stick with that. Okay, it's clean. I really love. Look at that. Look at the difference, guys. Okay, again, those differences are here. Okay, but for me, the layout is very important because the sound, if I want something really deep, I will just go on Zenology Zen Core, and have my 4 partials and go deep on the swings, right? If I want something really fast with the character of a particular synth, analog synth, Jupiter AX, JX, or the Juno or the SH, yeah, I really love this concept. Okay, so talking about the SH 101, here we go. Give me a little bass. Okay, SH 101. Let me load the. I don't even know if I get it since I don't need it. I now have the SH2, which makes more sense because you have 2 oscillators. I think I don't have it, guys. I don't have it. This is the occasion for me to show you how to download something. So this is legendary, guys. Here, SH101, and I click on install. It's queued. So I go here on bibliothèque, ready to be installed. Series Legendary, my friend, which is here. I click here. Go, man, go, man. I don't know. Maybe my son is playing with a video game, something like that. I don't know what's it's queued. Maybe he's waiting to download something else, which shouldn't be the case. Anyway, if it starts, it's gonna notify me, and I will show it to you. But basically here you have a SH101, same thing. I'm gonna drop the SH2, which is basically the same thing, but you don't have a second video VCO, basically. So here you have one envelope also for the both. Here you're gonna choose here your let me You're gonna choose here your oscillators, but basically you have one VCO, but you have basically 3, 4, even 4 type of sound. Okay, you have a regular, so you can inject the pulse here. You have a sub oscillator and the noise here. Okay, you can also pulse wide modulate. If I inject this, okay, you have also the modulators here as usual, but basically here, yeah, very simple. So when I want a bass or something like that really fast, look at that, you just like really quickly. I don't mess around with synths and all that. Look at that, the interface, it's excellent. For me, if you want the SH101 sound, go for the SH2 here. You will get 2 VCOs and more options for the, basically for the sound design, and this is exactly why I didn't install it. It doesn't want to start. Don't ask me why, guys. Maybe he knew I was doing a video. But anyway, yeah. SH101 differences here. Same thing also, okay. Let me check if it has the envelope. The velocity for the... Nope. Let me check here if the original has it here. Boy. VCF here. Nope. Okay, so the only difference here, you're gonna have the effects section, you're gonna have a crusher, reverb delay, and that's all. Also the arpeggiator as usual, but basically you don't have a difference here. So here you're gonna have the arpeggiator here and the effects section, which is different basically. But if you want a crusher, basically you're gonna have it here. Let me see if we have it. Drive. Yeah, bit crusher here. This is it. It's even, you have more control on the MFX here side. Yeah, this patch is great. By default here, I see a lot of patches that use the tone fattener. Hey guys, it's a deep one. And yes, you have something here on the VCA, which is called tone. You have it on all the system-made stuff. And basically, as soon as you're going to deal with the VCA envelope, you're going to have this option tone. And basically, this is like a tilt EQ. Okay? Here on the tone fattener, it's more like even an odd harmonics leveler. And look at that. Without. There's a level. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm ashamed about the... The tone fattener is crazy, guys. Always on my SH101 stuff. Okay. You're gonna have the JX8P. I showed you. This is one of my favorite here. On the legendary, you don't have a 8P. You're gonna have one of my favorite synths ever. This is the JX3P. I really love this synth, guys. Especially these presets, the way you handle the presets. Basically, you select here the line and then the row here, and you're gonna have access to your presets. So for example, here, if I get here, preset 1, row 1, let me play it. String 2, organ. For example, if you want the EP, you go there. Yeah, I really love this one. And maybe this is the one I'm going to choose. I have to choose on my Play for Life 2 synths. I'm going to use, of course, one slot of choices for a T808. This is basically why. The other slot is between the GX3P, the XV, if I want something fast, I don't want to load Zenology and to reach all the sounds, or the System 8, which is basically for me, if I had to keep only one, it will be the synths I will keep. I will show you maybe. I think it deserves own video. So yeah, the JX here, you have basically two oscillators, which is the case here. You have the waveform here. So you have a square, pulse. That's all here. And the noise here, which is here. Okay, you can have cross modulations here on the DCO2. You have your mixer here, which is exactly the same thing here. You can also have the velocity sensitivity here, either here for the VCA, here for the VCF, here. Okay. LFO also different shapes, same as here. Random, square, sine, same thing here. Two envelopes, same thing. And the FX session, which is the difference, and also the arpeggiator, which is here and not there. By default, I think by default, let me check. Let me go on Zenology. Yeah, by default, you have the aftertouch on the which react basically like the velocity sensitivity. Aftertouch, which is not very great on my key step, and this is artery, I think, definitely. So yeah, basically the GX8P here is really, it's really deep. I think it might be like the one you can make any type of sound on it. If it has three oscillators, it will be a crazy deal, and this is why the System 8 is crazy. So basically, when you choose the bundle I chose here, let me show you, my friend. If you choose here on offers, this bundle here, this is what you're gonna get. Zenology Pro and the expansions I showed you, the JX, the SH, the Jupiter, and the Juno here, as well as Zenology Pro. And you're gonna have an ultimate. Okay, so this is what you get basically for $4.99, and basically you have an ultimate Play for Life, which is great, and they will give you the time to choose your stuff. You don't have, and this is very not cool, you don't have the JD. The JD, this is the bad boy you're gonna see here. And I really wanted to keep the JD for the end. Let me unload stuff I don't need to minimize the impact on my poor CPU. Okay, I'm gonna take off here the edit page for a minute here, because I want to load the original one, the JD here, which is another choice. Maybe I'm gonna take this one. I don't know. I really love the JD. The first one I heard one of those patches, I was like, damn. When I saw the design, I was like, but you're gonna understand very easily. And this is basically, I think the JD was the base for the Zenology as part of the workflow. Okay, so you have 4 partials here, and which is great is this palette things. Is basically as soon as you select something on one layer, so So you choose a layer, what they call the tone here. Okay. If I choose, for example, here tone A, it's going to display everything related to the tone A. Tone B here, tone C, tone D, right? What I love about this concept of the palette is that if I touch here the cutoff, here, I'm going to see tone A, B, C, and D cutoffs here. I think you understand it, okay? If I go, for example, here on the, where is my levels? Here, I click here, I'm going to see the levels of tone A, B, C, and D here. This is exactly what you're going to have here. So for example, I choose cutoff and I have my cutoffs here. The levels, you see the levels here. All right. So I really love this type of workflow, and this is like really for me, this is like a sign of people coming from the industry, basically industrial. This is engineers, not only sound engineers. I'm telling you guys. So you're gonna choose here. Same. This is sample based. You have the sound sources here. Very easy to make some complex sounds. It's really great. The envelope is one of the most advanced envelope I saw when I first encountered this bad boy. It was on the shop, and basically when you're gonna open here the edit page, you're gonna have exactly the same thing. And you're gonna have the JD multi here, which is basically you have distortion phaser spectrum enhancer, which you can reach here on the FX page, which is here common FX. So you're gonna have this here, and then the chorus delay reverb, which is basically this row here. And this is for me, and this is, I made a request. So guys, if you really want to help my lobbying, just hit Roland with mails and ask them to have this as default for all the Zenology stuff. This is the FX section we should have for all the Zenology. The multi-effects here, okay? And the MFX group B here, which is basically chorus delay, reverb, and the equivalent of what we have on the Legends, basically. So here on the Zenology version, basically you have all the layers. You can choose the one which is displayed here on the screen, and then you will have everything you need to do. Sound sources are here, same thing. More visual here with the envelope, it is easier to deal with. But other than that, yeah, this is like I think it's clearer here than here. I think for the I'm not really a fan of sliders. I don't know, but here that's okay for me. There's a good mix between sliders and all that. Waveforms here for the LFOs. You have two LFOs here, the sound sources here, and everything you're gonna have. You have the EQ here, which is basically you have a graphical EQ. I mean a graphic which displays the EQ, which is not a graphical EQ. So yeah, the differences here for me, there's no difference in sound. I mean, let me check. Millennium here. I'm gonna reload the sound. Maybe the bass. More bass here. Let me check something. Usually when I have a difference like that, I just have to see here the latency and the CPU heat. Zenology. JD. Yeah, there's no difference in the CPU heat. Okay, here you see the voices. Same thing. So the choice is not like based on the CPU hit. You're gonna have the same CPU hit, I think. Let me load another patch. Yeah, same thing. I think the JD800 is how they should do the expansions in the future. There's zero compromise when it comes to the effects and all that. You know what I'm saying? Is that this is basically why they dropped the Zenology FX as a separate plugin to compensate for the fact that people ask them, oh, there's a difference in patches because it's not the same effects. The only bad thing is that you have to have a plan, a subscription to use the FX. This is not available to buy. And given the fact that they sell the Juno effects alone at $99, I don't even want to know how much it's gonna be for the Zenology effects. Boy. Yeah. So I think you get the differences, guys. The differences between the Legends and the Zenology things, the expansions. Okay, so Zenology, when it comes to the XV and all that, you already have it in it. When it comes to expansions, basically you have the fundamentals, the Juno, the SH, the JX, and the Jupiter. Here, for example, you have a Jupiter 8, you have a Jupiter 4, which is just dropped right now. Juno 106 for the Legends, you have the Juno 60. Personally, if I had to choose one between those two, this is a question I had from a friend, I will definitely choose the Juno 60, simply because I have everything the Juno 106 has, and I have the high-pass filter type. Look at that. Boy. Let me lower the level here. You have the tone. Let me show you the tone. Yeah. Okay, very impacting. Velocity sensitivity. Yeah, this is missing sometime from X-Men. Okay, now listen. When I'm gonna switch to the 60, listen how it's gonna clean up the lows. So the Juno Mono 6, basically, when even the high pass is not engaged, right? But the default setting, the Juno 106 was like fatter and all that, but it was something that we had to clean on the mix anyway. But I have the choice here, okay? If I go on the Juno 106, basically here, if I have a patch here, I will have to let me a patch here, for example. Here I will have to do that to have basically the equivalent of the Juno 60. Also the interface here, it's really like, let me just put regular dark, light, which is not bad, but it's killing my eyes right now because I'm on it dark. Look at this and look at this. Way easier for my eyes. So yeah, for me, there's a lot of redundancies here. Juno 1 and 6, Juno 60. There's very few differences to justify to buy those separately at full price and all that. Same for the Jupiter 4 and the Jupiter 8. I don't know if you have nostalgia and all that. This is the thing. All right, guys. So I think you get the differences. Sorry, guys. I think you get the differences between the Legends and the Zenology. So when you get the legends, you get the something that is exactly like the one-to-one with the hardware, with some goodies. The FX sections is even more deep than the hardware. You have the arpeggio and all that. And also, very important, you get the plug out. If you click on it here, if you have your System 8, it's gonna synchronize and load in one slot of your Juno System 8 slot, plug out slot, one of those synths. Okay, it's great for you to have those synths on the go, and also to transfer presets and all that. So it's great. You want to chill with your synth and you make some presets with the hardware. You can transfer then on the software and vice versa. So I think it's really great. What is great is that they're still releasing basically software for the System 8, which is, in my humble opinion, guys, what Roland is capable of. Basically, if you want to have the last Roland take on analog sound generation, the System 8 is basically the best of, I think. Okay, if you want to go on the more like workstation type of thing, like the Phantom and all that, the Jupiter X, XM and all that, when you have both world, virtual analog and PCM-based stuff, yeah, you go on the Zenology side. Okay, so for me, the choice wasn't based on the hardware I'm going to use, but more on the workflow and the type of sound I wanted. I wanted synth sound, and I wanted like regular, the regular bread and butter sound. Sorry, guys. Bread and butter sounds and all that. So I wanted like, the voice like two, and the hits and the drums and all that, everything. And so yeah, this is more like the producer in me that made the choice, right? If my synth head, if the synth guys in me wanted to make a choice, a pure choice, it will be hardware or maybe just this bad boy. So I don't know if I talk about it right now or I'll make you a whole video about that. You already have great videos, but basically here you have everything Roland is capable of. And boy, that sounds great. I'm gonna just make you see here, maybe my patches. I started to do some sounds. Raise the bass. Z bass. Mondo. Let me take off. Let me free up my CPU, guys. Don't forget that in options you choose the voices. I'm gonna stick with 6 voices. The quality of the effects, I'm using here the crusher. Nope. SIG keyboard. See the quality of the ambience here on the effects. This gives the depth. Same patch with the unison. When I put a uni, see how it's violent with the unison. Stranger. Yeah, I think you understand. The patches here I made is just to see the difference, the different variations here on the waves and all that you have. Guys, I need to make you a video, but basically you don't have 1, 2 oscillators and the 3, 5, 6 type of waves. Look how much you're gonna have, like 4 batch of waveforms, the regular ones, some crazy stuff, and some FM. And basically I'm mixing FM here with a subtractive synth. So yeah, I was like, the first time I saw the System 8, I was like, damn. The layout, the color is outrageous. I hate this. So I would love to have a System 8 expansion on Zenology, but or maybe another color, please, Roland. Discrete sad strings. Yeah, this is a Solina stuff. I think you hear this type of sound I gravitate around. And this is why I really stick with Roland and Quik usually. Because this is... I'm an old school producer, guys. This doesn't mean I don't like crazy sound and all that, but this is how hollow. You see how we have something very complex. Complex, I mean, I don't mean complex in results, but complex in behavior. And at the same time, you get this Roland sound. I'm using the chorus here. This lush Roland sound, so you always have this thing. So yeah, don't forget that on the Legends, you're gonna have also the choice to choose the System 8, the System 1. Don't even consider the System 1, go straight to the System 8, which is basically a System 1 on steroid, my friend. So if you want this analog sound and a more capable, more future-proof, and if money tight and you just only want to choose one thing, boys, jump on it. And basically, you can have it for 100 if you go to the Pro Play for Life Pro sub, guys. Okay? But I will try to do a video about that. I would love to do a video about the hardware and show you. But I think you already have some great videos. I think Coco's or something. the cool guy, you know, he's like a Baba Cool. I think he made a video about that. I really love this guy. He's super smooth. I mean, the video is basically you learn about synthesis. So if you already knows the stuff like me, it might not be like crazy, big learning science, but just to chill with the guy, it's great. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, so basically you have the differences here between Zenology and the Legends, guys. Don't forget that in the Legends you have those TR 808 707 727 606 909, which I don't use basically. Those sound crazy great. I mean, really great. So I will try to do you in video based on the drum machine alone, and for you to appreciate the sound and the capabilities of the step sequencer, guys. So there you have it. I'm gonna maybe pause the video and either make another one dedicated to that, or this is the part 2 of the video. But basically, I would love to show you how to use and to create a sound here in Zenology. And maybe another video, or maybe we're gonna do some patches for me to speak less and play more. Okay, take care of you guys and catch you guys later. Bye bye.